But I'll find myself just like scrolling on Facebook and be like 30 minutes later, and I'm on an app that I don't enjoy, doing something I don't like, reading things that aren't always serving my well-being. And I set a time restriction for 10 minutes, and that gives me enough time to like as many GoTime posts as I want to like,
right.
and then move on and do something
like
else.
The podcast.
To like and share the podcast.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Healthy Living Wichita podcast with GoTimeTraining. I'm your host, Raymond Elliott, lead personal trainer at GoTimeTraining in Northeast Wichita, Kansas. I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years now, and I've seen it all. This podcast cuts through all the fads and gimmicks to give you the science-based truth on all things fitness and nutrition, so you don't have to try to figure it out on your own. If you want to live happier and healthier and get the scoop on how to work out, eat right, and keep a positive mindset, you're in the right place. It's go time. Now, let's get to the show. All right, another episode of Healthy Living Wichita. I always have to try to remember how to say that. So, I don't remember what episode it is. It's like 6, 7, 12, something like that. I think it's 6. But anyways, we are here. It's 122 degrees in this office, but I think we'll manage today. So
we'll try at least.
We'll try. So, just want to introduce our special guest today. This is I call her my PIC, my partner in crime. She is another lead trader at GoTimeTraining, and she's my right-hand woman. and you know, it's when I started working here, I was the only lead trainer, and so it's really been a blessing to have her along and really help me out. And she does a lot of things that I'm not good at, like keeping the clients or not the clients, but the trainers accountable and being organized. I'm not always the most organized person in the world, so it's been great to have her. But it is Kelsey Nachtigal.
Hey, you said it right.
I still can't spell it, though. Someone asked me to spell it. So introduce yourself after that little tidbit and kind of tell us more about you and your background and, you know, why the hell you're here and all those good things.
So I'm Kelsey, as he said. I've been at GoTime for 2 years now. Just celebrated my 2nd anniversary.
Woo!
Personal train, teach classes, and then I also teach yoga and incorporate a little bit of meditation into my classes as well.
Good. Any other backgrounds? Anything else?
You don't know, like schooling? What do you want to know?
Well, yeah. Tell us a little bit about. Tell why you're so amazing. I mean, it's a 30-minute thing. So
bring me back to September 23rd.
There we go.
No, so I have my bachelor's and master's in exercise science from Wichita State. My master's was a little bit diverse, so I took most of my courses in exercise science, but I also spent a semester in public health and then a semester in entrepreneurship as well. So kind of got a little bit of a varied experience, and then I was a graduate teacher's assistant, so I taught some weight training classes and exercise and weight control class.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, so I kind of got to do some different things through my master's, and I would definitely say that that's like a big part of like where I am today. And then I also took about 6 months of private yoga classes. So I had like my own personal yoga instructor.
That's cool.
And learned a lot through that. I mean, obviously about yoga, but a lot about myself, a lot about the way the body works, and I mean a lot about even like corrective exercise and how to work through some of those things, breathing, stress, life.
Right. So obviously that's why you're here.
Everything, yeah.
You're smart. You're one smart cookie.
Well, I think
so yeah. So kind of bringing up some of those things. You do teach yoga here, something I've done a little bit about. But right now, as you know, things are stressful, right? People are stressing. They're still trying to figure out like how to navigate through these aspects. And I think that's one thing that you have a high quality with your clients, that you're able. We hear this constantly when we're talking to people, is like, she's helped me out so much with my stress, I sleep better, I move better. And it's not always just through the exercise parts, it's other aspects that you're helping teaching them. So I think the viewership right now is going, hey, I'm stressed right now. Life is hard. A lot of things going on, a lot of moving pieces out there. Nobody knows really what to do. What are some things that you feel that you've utilized with your clients or even yourself that you can pass on, and maybe even I can take some notes? Andrea, I need a notepad. Oh, she's not here. Andrea's not here. Go ahead.
These will be fun for you to edit. Honestly, I feel like one of the biggest things that I have done to reduce my own stress through all of this is to set, I don't know, like time restrictions on my apps on my phone. So I hate Facebook, and I wish I didn't have Facebook. If I didn't work here, I probably wouldn't have Facebook.
Oh.
But here we are with Facebook. But I'll find myself just like scrolling on Facebook, and like 30 minutes later, and I'm on an app that I don't enjoy, doing something I don't like, reading things that aren't always serving my well-being. And I set a time restriction for 10 minutes, and that gives me enough time to like as many GoTime posts as I want to like,
right.
and then move on and do something
like
else.
The podcast.
To like and share the podcast.
Exactly.
And then
Smart.
I can move on. But sometimes setting just those boundaries on your phone also shows you what you're doing that day. Sometimes like you're like, oh, I didn't have any time to do anything today, but you actually spent like 4 hours scrolling on your phone, and you had time, but you spent it doing other things.
Right.
So that's been a big one for me.
Which I think is huge, because I think obviously social media, you can have your standpoints on it, but obviously regardless of where your viewpoints are at, I think social media is definitely increasing people's stress and anxiety and angers and depressions and all kinds of different other aspects. It's great avenues like this. It's a great place where we can share your information. But I find myself, one, I think you hit the nail on two different heads. One, it's not always going to have the best information out there to really help benefit you and keep your stress out. And two, it's likely taking away a lot of your time. I am old, and I recently discovered TikTok. Why'd you laugh? But it could be a mindless thing. I will say, at least on there, it's not nearly as bad as even Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, that can definitely, it raises my stress. There's times where you probably have seen my posts where I'm just like, please, everybody, just love each other.
Right.
And I freak out. And I see a lot of people I admire and care about. So so managing your time.
There's definitely bonuses of it, and it's a great way to communicate with other people. You get to see funny memes. Sometimes you see stuff that makes you laugh.
If you're jelly, some kind of puppy or dog.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of positivity shared on there.
A lot of negativity. And
a lot of negativity, and regardless, you probably don't need to spend 2 hours on it. There's other things you could do with your time as well.
Okay, cool. So manage your screen time. That's a good one. What else? What's the other ones I said? we had a bunch of them. So managing your screen time, breathing is also a big thing. That's something that we actually talked about with Jake before, and something I incorporate a little bit with my clients sometimes, where we just do some diaphragmatic breathing. But a lot of people call it meditation. Some people call it prayer. Some people just call it diaphragmatic breathing. If you want to look at the science-based part of it, I think they all kind of come in together. But meditation or breathing, tension, breathing.
Yeah, reducing some of your tension. 'Cause a lot of our day we spend taking short, shallow breaths. I mean, it's just like how you naturally breathe, and especially when you're stressed. So taking some time to intentionally take some deep breaths.
Yeah.
Make sure you're doing that throughout your day. Also helps relax your shoulders. Carry all our stress on our shoulders, at least I do.
So should we give an example to the viewers, so all the viewers that's listening right now, well, not exactly right now, but here in the future, do something. So what should we do? You said relax our shoulders?
Relax your shoulders.
Okay.
Well, I like to roll them forward.
Relax your shoulders. Okay, roll them forward.
Roll them forward. Roll them up to your ears, and then exhale as you relax them down your back. So you're sitting up tall here.
Okay.
And then I oftentimes like to close my eyes. You don't have to close your eyes.
I always tell my clients to do the same thing.
Yeah. I think it just helps you focus more internally on what you're doing, and you kind of get to ignore all of the visual external stimulus.
So close your eyes.
Close your eyes. And you're going to inhale and exhale through your nose.
Okay.
So when you inhale, you want to feel your belly expand.
So that's that diaphragmatic breathing.
That's that diaphragmatic breathing. You're getting your diaphragm to expand. Sometimes it helps to bring your hand on your belly, and if you're feeling your belly rise or not.
Everybody
or if it's just staying right where it's at. And then when you exhale, you can either just exhale, think about all of your stress draining from your head down through your shoulders, either into your legs or into the surface underneath you. Or you can even exhale and imagine yourself growing roots. And sometimes that's helpful.
Oh, wow.
Imagine you're a tree or something like that, and you're growing roots, and it helps just connect you to your physical space that you're in now.
And kind of think about that energy
Yeah,
flowing outwards.
Yeah.
Got it.
Definitely.
All right, I fell asleep.
I hope not.
No. Anything else with that?
No, I mean, I feel like that's most of it. Yeah, just
right.
imagining your stress.
I want everybody either do it at that point. If you haven't, go ahead, take a minute, do that right now, and then drop us a comment on that and see if that makes, because I mean, automatically just felt better. I think one good example is that if you ever seen a baby cry, like when you see them breathing, you see those big old, baby bellies expand and that, but then when they start crying, you see that neck all flaring up, and they look like one of those scary raptors from or dinosaurs from like Jurassic Park. It's all
freaking out.
And they're chest breathing, right? And that's a lot of times how we breathe throughout the normal day. So it's amazing just switching that breathing pattern can really de-stress.
And a lot of people's like phones, or if you wear like an Apple Watch or something like that, will remind you of times to like breathe throughout the day.
Yeah.
So instead of just like focusing on how you're normally breathing, if you focus on a little more intentional, like that diaphragmatic breath, or even spending a moment in kind of just like some stillness, if you want to call it meditation or prayer, you can.
So take a little bit, so instead of those 2 hours that you're on Facebook, you could take a little bit of that time and do some diaphragmatic breathing or breathing or meditation and really kind of relax in those aspects. Do you feel like laying down helps that, or sitting up nice and straight, or does it really matter?
Every person is different. You should find a position where you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable sitting up, you could sit back in a chair. You could lay down on the floor. For some people, laying down on the floor isn't comfortable. Yeah, you just want to come to a position where you're comfortable. You still are having good posture, so you don't want to be like lounge.
Right.
You want to still kind of have your heart aligned over your hips, but
But I feel like
very comfortable.
It's just kind of, it's like you said, just stillness. It's a break. So I always kind of can think about it. And I think this is why some people, why we enjoy going to concerts or we enjoy drinking, because at those small moments are times that we forget about adulting. But when you have things that you got to do all day, if it's driving and just trying to get to the light and you're late behind work, or you're mad about somebody in front of you, you have deadlines that you got to get. You're worried about your bills, so every time you spend money, you're calculating in your head, okay, I still got to pay my mortgage. So you're constantly basically stressing. Yeah. So to me, it's like almost like constantly working out or being on a treadmill, and you never like had a rest day.
Yeah, I mean
your body's gonna break down.
Yep. So you're still putting that stress into your body constantly. I mean, and there's lots of other ways to relax. One way I like to relax is by listening to music. Yes. I don't know, I like Joywave.
Joywave, is that a band?
That's a band. It's
okay,
good. Music band. It's a boy band, actually. 4 boys. Yes, they're from Rochester, New York.
Okay.
But no, finding music that you enjoy, something where you can kind of get like lost into it, something where it just kind of takes your mind away from whatever it is that you're doing, from the stress you have, from, I don't know, if you're angry, if you're pissed off or sad or whatever. It just makes you think about something else. For some people, it might be like reading, or some people like to create art, paint, draw.
Something that's a disconnect to your normal stress throughout the day. Like if you think about it, like when you've been listening to music and you're like into it, are you thinking about your taxes? Are you thinking about the deadline that you have at work?
You get to enjoy yourself. For some people, that's like exercise. That's why a lot of people like to run. Running is very much like a meditative where you're in almost like a different world, it feels like. Yeah,
they actually call exercise a positive stress. So there's negative stress and there's positive stress. Exercise is still stress to the body, but it's a different stress than overly thinking, freaking out, the world. Like I said, right now it's just, I don't know if I've ever lived in a time that it's more stressful than right now. So I think these things are hugely beneficial for people because, stress is a leading cause of disease.
Yeah.
So if you have lots of stress, this is going to cause a weak immune system, which is probably pretty important right now. Yeah. It's also going to cause relationship and all kinds of different things, issues. So figuring out a way to manage it is huge. Probably always going to have it.
Yes.
But figuring out a way to manage it.
If you don't have strategies, now is the time to start implementing some of those.
So, sorry. I always like to summarize. We got less screen time. Devote to something else. Screens can be stressful just by themselves. Just stay off social media. It's not always as good as you need to be. You can devote to other times like meditation and music can be very good.
Music, yeah.
What's some more? I know you're coming out with some more ones. More ones.
I mean, anytime you're out in nature, it helps you disconnect. So. Everyone knows in the summer, if I don't come to work on Monday with a sunburn, probably means I didn't have a great weekend because that means I wasn't out in the sun.
Yes, I follow you on Instagram. Not very much, but just enough to see that you're out hiking.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love to go hiking. It's just a great way to be outdoors in nature. Oftentimes you don't have cell phone reception too, which is kind of cool in and of itself. But just an opportunity, you can either be by yourself, you can be with other people. Generally, you're going to be a little bit more choice about who you're with when you're going to spend those times. But even like going to the lake, going to the pool, going on a walk, even just like sitting out on your patio. It's just relaxing. Get some fresh air. You just kind of lounge for a little bit. Takes you outside of maybe like your house where it's dirty and you're thinking about laundry and chores and I got to go, run to the store. A little more time to just kind of have some peace and quiet, unwind.
Yeah. So either something active or stillness in either way, but basically get outside, get some vitamin D. But once again, it gives you another focus when you're going through. I always tell people, like, be in the moment. I think that's hard, even when I'm like at Thunder basketball games, which is my favorite thing to do. I got my phone like recording all the play, and I'm like, why? I'm here.
Yes.
Like, I want to record some things because I have to brag and show people that I'm at a basketball game, because obviously people really care what I do all my day. They need to know what I'm eating, and that if I had a cocktail at 8 p.m. But because there's tons of people that really care about that out there. So anyways, you got to do it for the masses. But yeah, so I mean, be in the moment. That's something that I always try to be in when I'm out in nature. Like if I'm hiking or out somewhere, even on my deck, I'm looking at the trees and I'm trying to like absorb it, because you only get so many times, especially if you're out hiking. That's going to be over and you're going to go back to reality.
Yeah.
So soak it all in, like almost over enjoy it. Like just like wow. Like I'm that guy that's like wow.
It's just so pretty.
It's a double rainbow. I don't know if anybody knows what that even comes from. But anyways, I think that's important to tie yourself in there and try it once again.
Yeah.
It's like physical. It's like physical meditation almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and more like mental.
Yeah. Well, if you're active, I guess.
Oh, okay.
It is mental. But if you're like walking and doing something or exercise, it's almost like physical meditation. Even though it can be a higher stress because we're exercising. It's a different one. It is mental because we're not affecting the mental stress. We're affecting more the physical stress, I guess.
Helps. Yeah, especially if you're holding like stress in your body physically, which a lot of people are.
Yes.
So you see people and their shoulders all up here or forward, or a lot of people hold it in their hips. That's why you get really, really tight hips.
Yeah. So exercise can be beneficial, but I know that a lot of people that I talk to, even some of my clients that we share together, has raved about how much yoga has helped them with stress and their sleeping, which probably is another point that you can put on for stress. Sleeping. So how do you feel like yoga benefits? I'm not a big yogi. I have done some yoga in my day, and I keep telling you that I'm going to come in and do yoga. I don't know if I can even move my legs in a position that needs to be in, but whatever position that may be. What do you feel like the benefits of yoga, and as far as stress, since that's kind of the main topic, but if there's anything else outside of that?
There's definitely a lot of points that we've already brought
breathing,
up. The breathing, you're closing your eyes, so you're focusing a little bit more inward. Chances are you're not just staring at like your phone or the TV or something like that. It gives you a little bit of me time where you get to focus on you. There's also a lot of poses which help release stress too. So putting your feet up on the wall, you stretch your hamstrings, your hips. There's a lot of different things you can do there. But even like downward facing dog, you're just kind of getting the blood flowing, a little bit of a different direction. Typically not in like an inversion where your head is below your heart.
Right.
But those kind of poses like that can help relax you. And then stretching too. Like we said, if you're holding a lot of physical stress, wherever it might be, some people, they'll, whether it's like clenching their fists or even clenching your toes, whatever it might be, the more you can stretch, it's just going to help you let go of some of that physical tension, in which you're going to sleep better because your body's relaxed.
Finally, yeah.
You're not still making fists and trying to curl up and go to sleep.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much, our way that we think affects the rest of our body. So if you're holding a lot of mental stress and you're thinking that's activating your central nervous system, and it's either things you're in fight or flight, and those muscles are wanting to be active, even when you're trying to like relax, you're like, relax. You're like, well, you're the one thinking about nonstop doing things, so I feel like we're supposed to be active.
We're supposed to be doing something.
Yeah, so that can help out a lot. So, do you suggest people that are stressful to do yoga?
Yes, 100%. Do yoga.
Do you know anywhere they can do that at?
You can do it from the comfort of your own home.
Selfless plug here. No, but yeah, there's lots of different avenues. You can do it from your own home.
A lot of great studios around town. I teach 2 classes throughout the week.
Yeah. That's something that anybody can get into and even start off with a basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think all those are great things. Like I said, I think there's plenty of things that people can do, and maybe just starting with one or two of those. I think breathing is great. I think the screen time would be very, very beneficial for a lot of people, including myself. And I think even like books I read. So there's a good book called The Miracle Morning, and basically the premise of the guy is he went out to try to figure out what is the one thing to do to be successful. He wanted to be successful, so he looked at all these top famous CEOs, actors, all these famous people, and he basically found out there wasn't one thing, there was 10 things.
Yeah.
And so he started doing those every morning, and one was exercise, one was like self-affirmation, one was reading. There's a lot of things that made all these people successful, so he put them together, but meditation was one of the ones that he found out for all these people. When you think about like the most successful people in the world are typically the most stressed people, CEOs, the people, even though they're super rich and they can do their meditation on their, $600,000 yacht, they're still dealing with a lot and have a lot of stress. So meditation has been a huge part of that, and going into those breathing patterns.
Yeah.
Going to that.
And kind of like you say, even the positive affirmations can help a lot too. If you're just having a hard time.
I tell myself I'm beautiful every day. But only like 6 or 7 times a day. Should I increase that, or is that enough?
Oh, yeah, you should at least triple it.
Oh, okay, good.
Every time you look in the mirror.
Just plain.
But, whether it's like reminding yourself to breathe, or if you're getting lost in like the future, like what's going to happen, where are we going, what's next.
Yeah.
Something where it's even like, I am here, I am now, and you're just focusing on what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Or if you're feeling lonely or disconnected, maybe something like I am loved, or I am at peace, or something like that.
Nice. Those are very good. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people. I actually have personal friends that are scared to go, to supermarket, and they get there and they start to hyperventilate and have stress. So there's a lot, there's a lot of things going out there. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't. Well, hopefully they get upon that. I'm not saying that they shouldn't feel that way, and that's a unique situation. But I think everybody in a whole, unless you're just living in a bubble and your life is amazing, is a little stressed out right now. I have to agree with that. So I think those are all really, really good points. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Living Wichita podcast with GoTimeTraining. If you enjoyed today's show and want to get started with your own fitness journey, I'd love to help kickstart your goals. How do 4 60-minute personal training sessions for $99 with me sound? Head over to www.gotimetraining.com/podcast to claim yours. I can't wait to meet you.